Hi students, this is Madhu Dharmapuri. Welcome back to the electrostatics lecture number 8. We have been discussing applications of Gauss law, and in the lecture number 7 we have calculated electric field due to a point charge using Gauss law. And before that we have also seen some of the steps to be followed while using Gauss law. Those steps are very important for application of Gauss law. Okay, if you have not watched that video, the lecture number 7, electrostatics, please watch that video so that it would be easy for you to understand this one also. In this particular lecture also, I am going to use Gauss law to find out electric field due to a charged sphere. Okay, I have written here the topic of today's lecture: electric field due to charged sphere. But sphere can be hollow sphere or solid sphere. Right? Hollow sphere means what? There is nothing inside. There is no matter inside. It's empty. Hollow sphere. Just like you can imagine like volleyball. Maybe air is there, but you can imagine like that. There is nothing inside. Only the outer layer is there, spherical in shape. That is hollow sphere. Whereas solid sphere is just like shot put. There is no empty space inside. There is a material inside, matter inside. So that is the basic difference between hollow sphere and solid sphere. Okay, hollow means there is nothing inside. Solid is throughout it there is a material, throughout its volume. That is a basic difference. So sphere is two types: hollow sphere and solid sphere. And in that also we can have two subtypes: conducting and non-conducting. For example, if you take hollow sphere, it can be a conducting hollow sphere or non-conducting hollow sphere. What is conducting hollow sphere? Conducting hollow sphere means that sphere material is conducting. That hollow sphere material is conducting, conducts electricity or charge, just like metal sphere. Okay, so what about non-conducting? Non-conducting means we can imagine like a plastic sphere. The sphere material is of dielectric or non-conducting. You can also take this as dielectric. Non-conducting means insulating. Okay, so conducting hollow sphere and non-conducting hollow sphere. Conducting hollow sphere means made of conducting material like metal sphere, and non-conducting hollow sphere means is material is plastic or insulated, anything. Okay, similarly in this case solid sphere, conducting and non-conducting. Conducting means made of some metal or conductor which conducts electricity. Non-conducting means it does not conduct electricity, made of some plastic or some insulating material or dielectric material. Okay, so we have sphere, hollow sphere and solid sphere. Hollow sphere, nothing inside, it's an empty space between the inside the surface. Solid sphere, there is no empty space, it is made throughout its volume, material is occupied. And under hollow sphere we have conducting hollow sphere and non-conducting hollow sphere, and under solid sphere we have conducting and non-conducting solid spheres. Okay, but now if a Q charge is given to a conducting hollow sphere, means metal sphere, if q charge is given to a metal sphere, what happens is, because there is nothing inside, it is an empty space inside a hollow sphere, whatever the charge that you are supplying to that hollow conducting sphere, the charge will be accumulated on its surface, just as this. The charge is on the surface, there is nothing inside, there is no charge accumulated inside. Charge is distributed on surface, q inside is 0. Q inside is 0. Inside the sphere there is no charge. If whatever the charge that you have given is completely accumulated on the surface of the hollow sphere, and there is no charge inside, and that charge, because it is distributed on the surface, we can define the charge in terms of charge density, that is q equal to sigma into its surface area. What is the area covered, and the sigma multiplied by surface charge density would give you the total charge that is given to the sphere. Q equal to sigma A. The sigma comes into effect because the charge is on the surface. Sigma is surface charge density. We have also talked about different types of charge densities in the previous video lectures. If you have not watched them, do watch it. Okay, so coming back to this one, non-conducting hollow sphere, just like a plastic material is used to manufacture a hollow sphere which is non-conducting. Even in this case also, because there is nothing inside, whatever the charge that is given will be accumulated on the surface, just like here. No matter whether it is conducting or non-conducting, because there is nothing inside a hollow sphere, the charge that is given to the sphere is accumulated on the surface. If q charge is given, the q should be equal to sigma into A, just like here. Okay, there is no charge inside, q inside is 0. If a charge is given to hollow sphere, whether it is conducting or non-conducting, the charge is distributed on the surface of it, and there is no charge inside that sphere. And the charge that is given to the surface is given by sigma multiplied by the area of that hollow sphere. Whether it is conducting or non-conducting, in both cases we get same scenario. And similar scenario will be applied here. If you see, conducting solid sphere. Conducting solid sphere. Solid sphere means what? Throughout volume of the sphere some material is there. Then how come the charge given to it is coming on to the surface as shown in this picture? The reason is it is conducting material. Because it is conducting material, it can conduct charge from one place to another place, and whatever the charge that is given to this conducting solid sphere is conducted through the material, and it is accumulated on the surface. The charge q is given to a solid sphere, conducting sphere, and that charge q is conducted towards its surface by the material inside, and the charge is accumulated on the surface. So just like here, you can see this. But here the charge is accumulated on the surface because of empty space inside. Here the charge is accumulated on the surface because the material is conducting. If the charge is given inside, that charge is coming onto the surface because of the conducting nature of the sphere. And here the charge given to the sphere will be again sigma multiplied by A, where sigma is charge density, surface charge density, and area is the surface area of that sphere, and there is no charge inside. There is no charge inside. for a conducting solid sphere. Whereas non-conducting solid sphere, as I said, if you take non-conducting solid sphere, if you give Q charge to it, because it is non-conducting, whatever the charge that you are giving to the solid sphere will remain inside. It will not be conducted by it. That is how here the charge distribution is through its volume here, where a charge distribution is on the surface here and the charge distribution is through its volume. The charge distribution is throughout its volume because of the non-conducting nature of the sphere material. Whatever the charge that is given, Q charge is given for example, that is distributed through its volume as shown in this picture, and the total charge can be found using a volume charge density multiplied by the total volume of the sphere, Q equal to rho into V. And in this case, Q inside is not 0. Every Q is inside only. The charge that is given is distributed inside only. Q inside is not 0. It's not equal to 0. These are the things you have to remember regarding sphere. A sphere is two types, hollow and solid. And if hollow sphere is taken, we can divide it into conducting and non-conducting hollow spheres. If you take conducting hollow sphere, if charge Q is given, the charge is distributed on the surface because there is empty space inside and no charge inside. And if charge Q is given to a non-conducting hollow sphere, the charge is distributed on the surface because of empty space inside and there is no charge inside. And if you take conducting solid sphere, because of the conducting nature of the solid sphere, the charge that is given is accumulated on the surface and no charge inside. And the non-conducting solid sphere, because of non-conducting nature of the solid sphere, whatever the charge that is given to the sphere is distributed through its volume, and Q inside is now not equal to 0. Now if you observe these four things, this one and this one will come under same scenario. You can see Q inside 0, Q inside 0, Q inside 0. But here Q inside is not equal to 0 and charge is distributed through its volume. Whereas here charge distributed on surface, charge distributed on surface, charge distributed on surface. So these three things come under same scenario, whereas this one is completely different. So that is the reason I have chosen electric field due to charged sphere, non-conducting hollow sphere or conducting solid sphere. See, electric field due to charged sphere I am going to calculate. I have taken only these three because the three are same scenario. Conducting hollow sphere, non-conducting hollow sphere, conducting solid sphere. And I will discuss this ones in separate lecture. Electric field due to a charged non-conducting sphere, solid sphere. Electric field due to a charged non-conducting solid sphere, I will explain in different video lecture. Now you can consider these three under same lecture. If you calculate electric field due to this, if you calculate electric field due to this or electric field due to this, all three will come same. Okay, so that is why I have written electric field due to charged sphere, conducting, non-conducting hollow sphere and conducting solid sphere. Okay, this is our lecture for now, and this one will be discussed in a separate video. Okay, so what is given now? Conducting, non-conducting hollow sphere or conducting solid sphere. If Q charge is given, to sphere, it is distributed on its surface. On its surface, that is Q equal to sigma into A, where sigma is surface charge density and A is surface area. How it is distributed? For example, consider a sphere, whether it is hollow sphere or conducting solid sphere. The charge is accumulated on the surface like this. So if this is the center of the sphere, consider radius of the sphere as capital R. Q charge is distributed. So if Q charge is given to sphere of radius R, you can say sphere of radius R. It is distributed on its surface, that is Q equal to sigma A, and A will be equal to 4 pi R square, which means that sigma is equal to Q by 4 pi R square. Sigma equal to Q by A. Okay, so remember this. A sphere is given, the charge Q is distributed on the surface, and radius of the sphere is capital R. So this is our given problem. Now what is our aim? To find out electric field. So using Gauss law. So to use Gauss law, as I said, we have to follow certain steps. What is the first step? The first step is identifying a point. Identifying a point where you are finding electric field. The first step. Okay. So for that, I am identifying a point. For example, my point is somewhere here. So I want to find out electric field at this point, whose distance is small r from the charge distribution. See, charge distribution must be taken from the center of the sphere. The distance must be taken from the center of the charge distribution. Okay, this is the first step, which means I am going to calculate electric field. In the first case 1, you can say case 1, E due to E due to sphere. I don't need this one. E at R greater than R means outside point. Outside point. Case 1 is what? E at R greater than R, outside point. See, R, small r is greater than capital R. Point is outside. So that is the case 1. The identification of point is case 1. See, I am going to discuss it in 3 cases. Case 1, case 2, case 3. Case 1 is outside point. Case 2 is a point on the surface. Case 3 is point inside point. So first let me take outside point where small r is greater than capital R. Okay, so identification of point. What is the second step? Draw a Gaussian surface, a closed surface passing through this point. So this is my closed surface or Gaussian surface, which is passing through the surface, which is passing through the point. This is Gaussian surface of radius small r. Gaussian surface is a spherical in shape of radius small r. See this one dotted line is a Gaussian sphere or Gaussian surface. The Gaussian surface is in spherical in shape. Symmetric about the charge distribution. Gaussian surface is drawn around the charge distribution, symmetric. This is spherical and this is spherical. Okay, so what is the third step? Consider a small area element ds at that particular point with the ds. This is ds. What is the fourth step? Identify or draw the directions of electric field and area vector. See, this is a positive charge distribution, so obviously electric field will be in this direction and ds will be in this outward direction. So this is ds, this is E. Both are in the same direction. Okay, so E and ds are in same direction. Hence, angle between them theta equal to 0. Okay, now what is the electric flux passing through small area element ds d pi e equal to how much? E dot ds, which is d pi e equal to eds cos theta, eds cos 0, which is equal to eds, which is equal to eds. Electric flux passing through small area element. Okay, so total electric flux, the next step, total electric flux passing through Gaussian surface pi e equal to integral d pi e. How much? Pi e is how much? Integral e ds. D pi e is this one. This is the mathematical equation for electric flux. Okay, pi e equal to integral e ds. Now, if you see what is E here, electric field on the Gaussian surface. E is electric field on the Gaussian surface. And it remains constant everywhere because the Gaussian surface is equidistant from the center of the sphere everywhere. Whatever the point that you consider, it is equidistant from the center of the sphere, original sphere. And hence E is constant. Everywhere on Gaussian surface. Pi E equal to E integral ds. E is taken out of the integral because E is constant, and this is written as 4 pi r square. Here what is integral ds? Integral ds is surface area of Gaussian surface, Gaussian sphere. Surface here is spherical in shape, which is equal to 4 pi r square. Okay, so total flux passing through the Gaussian sphere is E into 4 pi r square, which we have calculated using mathematical equation flux equal to E dot ds. Okay, but we know that according to Gauss law, the total electric flux passing through a closed surface or Gaussian surface should be equal to 1 by epsilon naught times the charge enclosed by that surface. Right? So that is from Gauss law. Total flux passing, let me take this as equation number 1, passing through Gaussian surface pi E equal to 1 by epsilon naught times charge enclosed by Gaussian surface. This is what Gauss law is. 1 by epsilon naught times charge enclosed by that surface. So how much is the charge enclosed by Gaussian surface? It is Q. See, this is Gaussian surface, and what is inside, what is the charge inside this Gaussian surface? Q, right? This original sphere is inside Gaussian surface. This original sphere is inside Gaussian surface. What is the charge on original sphere? Q. So that is whatever the charge that is there on the original sphere is the charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface. So Q by epsilon naught, this is 2. So 1 and 2 are same, and we get from 1 and 2 E into 4 pi r square is equal to Q by epsilon naught, and E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by r square. This is the electric field. This is electric field at outside point R greater than R. Electric field at outside point here. R is greater than R, capital R. If you observe carefully, this formula is exactly same as electric field due to a point charge, which was derived in lecture number 7. Right? electric field equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r square. This is electric field at outside point r greater than r. Right? And we know that in the beginning we have also seen that Q equal to sigma A, right? Where sigma is, we have also written sigma into 4 pi r square, where A is 4 pi r square, Q is sigma is surface charge density. And if you write this in the place of this, we will get E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, Q is sigma 4 pi r square by small r square, and they are cancelled. 4 pi is cancelled with this 4 pi, and we get sigma r square by epsilon naught r square. So this is also a formula used sometimes in terms of surface charge density. Mostly this formula is used, but in some books, in some cases, this formula is also used. This we have got by replacing Q with this Q equal to sigma A or Q equal to sigma into 4 pi r square. The total charge given is distributed on the surface area. This is surface charge density. Okay, so remember this one. This is very, very important. If you know this, you can automatically write this. And here what you have found, E proportional to 1 by r square. E proportional to 1 by r square. And here is E proportional to 1 by r square. This is outside point. Now let us see a point on the surface and then point inside. Second case, case 2, E at r equal to r. E at r equal to r means you can say point P is here itself. Point P is here itself. Now what do you get? The Gaussian surface is exactly same as original sphere. Everything same, and the charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface is same as charge enclosed by the original sphere Q, and hence we get the same formula as we have got in case 1. E at outside point r greater than r is E and the 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by r square. Okay, so now E at point on surface r equal to r is, you can say this as E outside and E surface is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R square, R equal to R. This R must be replaced with capital R. So this is the formula for second case, E at R equal to R. Simple, second one. Okay, the small r should be replaced with capital R. Both are same. Okay. Now we will see case 3, which is more important. You don't see any derivation for this case, but conceptually it is very, very important. You will see case 3. What is case 3? E at an inside point R less than R, which means point P is now, where is it? Point P is now inside, and the Gaussian sphere, if you draw Gaussian surface, it will be smaller, and this is smaller, R less than R, R less than R, right? And from Gauss law, what we say? Total flux passing through Gaussian surface is pi e equal to 1 by epsilon naught times charge enclosed by Gaussian surface. Charge enclosed by Gaussian surface. Pi e equal to 1 by epsilon naught. What is charge enclosed by Gaussian surface? This is Gaussian surface, and charge is outside. There is no charge enclosed by Gaussian surface. This is 0. No charge is enclosed by Gaussian surface. Q in is equal to 0. And we know that using mathematical equation, total flux passing through Gaussian surface is pi e equal to E into 4 pi r square. E into 4 pi r square. It is EDS actually. DS is nothing but E integral ds. Integral ds is nothing but 4 pi r square. Now if you can compare this and this, we get E into 4 pi r square as 0. Which means that E is equal to 0. E in is equal to 0. So the answer for this is 0. There is no charge inside. Simple. Right? Now we will write all the 3 answers at one place and represent those answers in graphs. Okay? So make a copy. Case 1, E outside equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by r square. Case 2, E surface, this is R greater than R, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R square, R is equal to R, can say for, and case 3, E inside is equal to 1 by 4 pi, is 0, you have got 0 for R less than R. You can say for R is equal to R, for R less than R. We have got case 1, case 2, case 3. How to represent this in graphs? If you take this as origin and this is E and this is R, and if this is R equal to R, and here we get E surface we can see this. E inside is 0. This is 0 to R. You can see this picture. You can also draw this in another way. This is center. This is E in, this is E out, and this one is E surface. And this is E in. You can say this one. This is E in. There is no, this is E in, and this is E surface. And this one is E out. There is no electric field up to radius of the sphere, and on the sphere it is equal to this, and R greater than R, E is outside, inversely proportional to square of the distance. So this is surface. The charge is like this. E in is this. There is no electric field up to this. Electric field is 0. This is equal to 0. And once it reaches this, it is equal to this. And once it crosses this, it is equal to this. Both are same graphs. Both are same graphs. Okay, so this is how we have to make use of Gauss law to calculate electric field. Hope you have understood. Thank you very much.